Preparedness with a tactical mindset. How many times you hear folks telling you, you have to wear this vest. Unless you have this firearm, you're not going to be tactical. You're not going to be efficient. You're not going to be proficient enough. Well, how do you base that? I mean, I'm a civilian. I never served in the military. So when I hear comments like that, I usually go like, whoa, man, that person must have a lot of military experience. And I was like, probably saw combat and whatnot. But that had been kind of bothering me lately. And I was like, let me do a little bit of research and see whether or not, there's a lot of folks involved in combat. Like I said, I've never been in combat before. I've never been in the military. But based on the comments and whatnot, it makes you think, right? Well, did a little bit of research and come to find out that only 10% of military folks, only 10%, one of every 10 soldiers, actually see combat. They fire their weapons in combat. That's it, 10%. Now, what are the other 90% are doing? Well, they're doing other military jobs. You need cooks. You need people to get your parachutes together. Other things. But only 10% saw combat. And we often see, especially on YouTube, a lot of people, a lot of experts, or self-called experts. You need to be tactical. You need to do this. You need to do that. But are we saying that all of those people are experts because they actually went into combat? Or should we slash that number and only take 10% of all of those people? You get what I'm saying? Overall, what I'm trying to say here is there's a lot of folks up there who pretend to be something and they really are not. There are a lot of folks up there who have no military training, like me, whatsoever. I don't have no military training whatsoever. And I don't pretend to have military training. But there are others who actually do pretend to have. And they will say, oh, you need to be tactical. You need to have all of this vest, all of this gear, and all of that. Well, you are a civilian. And guess what? The moment that you do that, you stick out. You stick out big time. And you need to understand that there is a better choice. There really is a better choice. If you're in a crowd of people and you are dressed up in black, vest, your whatever handgun you prefer to use, your AR-15, your whatever, all the gear that you want to carry, and you march in front of a crowd or through a crowd, people are going to turn around and look at you. But here I am, dear old Billy, baseball cap, kind of shirt, walking around. People dress exactly like me, or I dress exactly like them people. And I have my thing. Talk away. Nobody knows. If something happens, I can react. I can act. I can execute. There is a better choice. There is a better way. Honestly, there is a difference between military and civilians. There really is a difference. And when you want to bring military into a civilian world, you're going to stick out. Honestly, you really are going to stick out. I mean, does it look cool having all of that gear? Absolutely, heck yeah, it looks cool. But this is not a video game. Real life is not a video game. And a lot of people seem to believe that real life is a video game. If you are walking on the streets with all of that gear, do you think law enforcement is not going to stop you and say, hey man, what you doing? What you up to? What's going on? No, you can argue me. Oh, I have the right to move undisturbed. They're still going to get caught. Why bring that attention to you? That great man mindset should be nagging you right now as I talk to you. It really should be nagging you. Because that's what I'm going with. There is really no need as civilians to dress as the military, because we're not. In fact, military folks, once they leave the military, they become civilians. So, get what I'm saying? There's a time and a place to do everything. There really is. Those who believe that life is a video game and they want to dress like that because they want to look cool when they go to the range. I experienced that the other day. I was literally waiting for someone, and I don't know how much gear that person had on him. You know, like literally throwing himself on the floor. I mean, talking about now is really melting. The snow is melting. So I was literally like from my car. Laz looked at me and said, "Dad, what's wrong with him?" And I said, "Son, that's very questionable. It's very questionable. I don't know what's going on. But just look at it and see and understand that stupid things like that are going to happen all the time. So just learn how to ignore people like that." And this is me looking at somebody, you know, an individual. Just that individual was at the range. I was in the parking waiting because I have Laz with me, and I don't like, practice when there's a whole lot of people, for safety purposes. I don't know what type of safety they have. I know my safety. I know the way that I act. I know the way that I handle things. I don't know them. So I prefer to wait until they take off, and then me and Laz, we practice. But that's just to give you an example. It's a very simple example that I experienced. When you see folks, acting, that's an act. Or pretending, that's a pretend. People can see it from a mile away, to tell you the truth. Because I bet you that those who saw combat will not be at YouTube, telling you whatever happened in combat. They won't. Because they don't want to remember everything that happened in combat. I have so much trouble sharing with y'all what happened in Cuba because I don't want to honestly relive the things that I did. Because they were painful things. Same thing with soldiers who saw combat. They don't want to go through the same thing all over again. No. So, keep that in mind. There is a better way. Just blend in. You are a civilian. Act like one. Get your training. Don't get me wrong. Get your training. Practice with your tools. Become proficient. But don't try to be something that you are not. Keep that in mind. Don't try to be something that you're not because, well, you're the first one who's going to be gone if the SHTF does happen and you stick out. That being said, I hope you have a great one. Like I was, rock on, prep on, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.